This video shows the new features in Spire 2.2. So the first one I'm going to show you is AR and AP discounts. So I can take and pay these invoices that have a 2% discount offered on them. And I'll take another invoice as well. So let's take this one here that doesn't have a discount, and then we hit the payment button. And from here we can adjust the discount if I wish. So I can go ahead and take the discount on this one even though it's expired, and this one as well. And then from there I can also adjust the amount that I'm going to pay on an invoice. So this invoice here is $338, but I'm going to pay $300 against it. And you notice when I tab off that, the amount down here changes to reduce the amount that we're paying. And what's going to happen is that payment of $300 will go against that $338.41 and have an outstanding amount on it, whereas the discounted ones will be fully paid. So once I've done that, I can choose to print a check if I wish, and then post the payment as normal. There's our discount shown. Click OK. And the checks. So there is all of our items with their discount shown. And if we go back to Payables, you'll see that there's that invoice we partially paid. And then the full payment is shown there. And if I go Show All, Expand All, and Show Debits, you'll see now, if I sort this by date, there's the amount paid today and all of its invoices indented underneath of it and all the ones that are paid, including the fact that this one still has a balance on it. And exactly the same thing with this applies under accounts receivable as well. Okay, the next feature we have is in purchase orders. And we'll just add a new PO. And we'll put some items on here. Okay, so we'll put some quantities on here as well. And then line by line now we have a discount. So we can say a 10% discount on that item. And then what it does, it just changes the cost to the new cost. So you see that's at 45 there, and I'll put 10%. And let's change it to the new discounted cost. Okay, now there is also the capability of putting a discount on the very bottom of the order. You typically wouldn't do this combined with a line-by-line discount, but you can. So this discounted amount will get further discounted by whatever you put down in here. So it takes it down even lower. So you do have to be careful that you not put it in two places, because you will discount it maybe more than it should be. But it's a possibility that some suppliers will give you, say, a discount on line by line, but when you reach a certain value on the order, you can now take a further discount on the whole order. So both capabilities are there. And the costs of these items get posted to the proper landed costs of the items. So they will get received into stock at the new discounted cost, plus adding the new footer discounted cost. So the value of the order is going to go in this case at $5.40, where if you had no discount on this in either place, this whole purchase order would go in through at $6. Actually, but notice that the subtotal still stays at 6, because if I take the discount out, the discount comes after the subtotal. So that therefore you'll see that the discount amount, if I put back in the 10%, the amount of the discount is shown here, but the subtotal is still on the purchase order as a subtotal. So that way it's calculated correctly. Okay, the next feature we're going to come to is in accounts receivables and payables again. So if I go into a customer, and this one's an invoice, so let's just make a new entry, and I'll just put in an amount, and I'll post it, and now I realize didn't want that transaction the way it was. And in the past, we had the capability of voiding a payment that a customer made, but now we've also got a void on any transaction that doesn't involve a document like an invoice or a purchase order in payables. Highlight it or click it and hit void, and now it's been taken off. Okay, another small change under inventory. We now show the GL accounts that's being posted for this particular account. You can't select the account here. You still need to select it from the list of sales departments, but it shows you, without having to go look back at it, what GL accounts these are being posted to. So this is handy to know as you're setting inventory up. You can see that in just an easy view instead of having to go check the sales department itself. And a zero sales department is not selectable, but is typable, so that it goes back to the default revenue, cost of goods, and inventory counts that were set up in special accounts in company setup. Okay, the next feature we've added under sales, we've added in the capability of doing labels. So if you're selling this particular invoice and you need to ship labels along with it for inventory labels to your customer who would then label product, you can hit the labels button and it pops up this dialog that has the same number of items on the order as labels, so they can now hit print here and it'll print off either one of a couple different styles of labels that can then go along with this sales order. And these can be edited. You can change the quantities. It does populate to start with the quantities from the sales order, but you can edit that as you need to. Notice that it is using actually the ship quantity as opposed to the order quantity, so that way if you're doing a partial shipment, it doesn't do them all. Now what it does do is it puts the other ones on here with a zero quantity. And then of course, like all of our labels, you can set the number of blanks if you're using sheet labels as opposed to rolls of labels, and that way you can start on, say, the fourth or fifth label if it's partially been used. Okay, the next one, small but asked for quite a bit under General Ledger. And if you're doing a bank reconciliation, which I won't be able to show exactly, but when you hit the reconcile and you hit the import button and you import the transaction file over here, you now can sort these columns and these ones. So these ones become sortable now to whatever, and these ones also become sortable. So it just makes it easier to find items off of the import file from the bank. Okay, other than that, there's been some technology upgrades to the system, and we've improved the import of data when you import from your old system, and quite a few more new reports as well. So new reports we've got in the system now are a daily fill rate, a pending purchase order report you can print previous to actually posting the receiving of your purchase order, a pending inventory adjustment, so if you're adjusting, you can print it previous to posting, and then a inventory receipts from purchase order, so you can print off a list of all the items you just received. You can do a receipts order fulfillment for a purchase order, which shows you a list of all the sales orders that can now be filled based on the fact you've just received this purchase order. A new point of sale receipt has been designed, an inventory allocations report, so you can see all commitments, incoming POs, a 1x2 inventory label for use with Zebra printers specifically, but of course can be modified to print on other printers as well. And an inventory reorder report, which now can be reorder by vendor or reorder by product code or anything else, because you can do a filtered select or selected list to view a reorder report. So, and made some more improvements to our current reports, and you no longer need legacy reports from the old program because all the legacy reports from Essentials have now been converted.